Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to call the meeting of the Board of Supervisors back to order. It is just 1:30 p.m. We're now on item number 21. This is about the district attorney to present the First Amendment Cooperative Agreement for the Administrative Services and Facility Use and Management between Carson City and the Carson City Culture and Tourism Authority dated March 1st, 2018. Who's taking this one on? Oh, okay, go. Ben, take it up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Supervisors. Thank you. Ben Johnson, Deputy District Attorney for the record. The item that you have before you is a proposed memorandum of understanding to extend the First Amendment Cooperative Agreement. This is an agreement that the city has with the Cultural and Tourism Authority, which acts as the collection agent for the transient lodging tax. Under the current agreement, it's set to expire on June 30th of this year. And it basically lays out what city services are provided to the CTA and then what responsibilities the CTA has towards the city. Let me back up. We were going to just move ahead with a renewal of the First Amendment Cooperative Agreement that we had in the past, and actually the CTA already adopted their version, but then we did get some questions from the board, and a decision was made that rather than going forward, I'm going to rework the agreement to clean it up, tighten up some of the language so that the responsibilities are clearer as far as what obligations the city owes and the services that are provided. And then to bring it back. And so this is just to give us a little bit of extra time to keep the current agreement in place for a period of 60 days so that we can finalize that. And we also, in your packets, you have copies of the original agreement as well as the First Amendment that lays out the current scope. And so we thought this would be a good opportunity to get comments from the board about any problem areas that they see or anything that they would want added so that we can incorporate those comments into the draft before taking it to either board. I'm happy to answer any questions, and Jennifer Budge from Parks and Rec is here to answer or help answer any questions regarding underlying services if needed.
Okay, Jennifer, you're up. I'm kidding. All right, board. What do we want to do? How long do you want to extend this then?
60 days.
All right, board. Doesn't seem like an unreasonable request as long as we just keep moving down the road. So, any member of the public want to weigh in? Any member of the CTA or anybody want to weigh in on this? Okay, board. Stacy, you got your light on?
Yeah, I just wanted to, Ben was asking for input. So there were some minor things that I had worked with Deputy City Manager on, including in there, and I assume you'll incorporate those in terms of just some language cleanup. But I also want to make sure there's a component in there, again, worked with Adriana on, to have the Culture and Tourism Director present up to twice a year, or at minimum twice a year to the CTA on his work status.
Ben Johnson again. Absolutely, we will be working from, I know that the Deputy City Manager worked extensively on some of those, and so we will work from that draft. I'm just going to go through, reorganize, and clean it up, so we will definitely make sure to incorporate that.
Yes, all of those comments that we had worked on are okay, thank you.
So thank you very much for this. I really appreciate it. I know I had lots of questions, and really I'm looking for, I saw several times where items are defined, but then the definition is never used. And so I think there was a lot of implied activity or practice that we've been utilizing, but I'd like to see it actually memorialized in the agreement. And I think I've already sent them to you. If not, let me know and I can resend or go back through it. And really, I just was looking for a lot of just structure and templates. I think we've been working extremely hard on the board to set up nice master agreements and things like that. So I would enjoy that opportunity on there. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Supervisor Bagwell.
And just one question, Stacy. Maybe I didn't hear you right. The CTA director is going to report to their own board every twice a year?
No, the culture, our arts and culture director, the city's arts and culture
Okay, will
director,
report.
who obtains funding from the CTA.
I got you.
Would report to the CTA twice a year on his activities.
I missed you. Okay, good. All right, got it. All right, anybody else want to weigh in? We'll take a motion to extend the existing contract for 60 days.
I thought I did, but I don't see it. Well, anyway, I'm going to. I move to approve the MOU as presented.
Did I miss you? I don't think I did. Okay, on the motion, discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carried, thank you. All right. Okay, let's take up item 22 alpha. Discussion and possible action regarding an amendment to the master plan land use map to redesignate from low density residential to medium density residential. 6 properties located at 93 Dean Court, 94, 95, 96, and 97 Dean Court, and 4376 Northgate Lane.
Mayor, may we take 22A and 22B together, please, for the presentation?
Okay? Let's take up both. Without an objection, then, we'll take up item 22A along with 22B, and 22B is the corollary to the master plan issue raised in 22A. This 22B picks the same issue up on a zoning map. Any questions from anybody about where we are? Okay, go.
Thank you, Mayor. This project, or this rezoning and master plan update, were identified as part of the annual master plan update and mapping corrections. The 6 lots on Dean Court were created in 1992. In advance of creating the lots, variances were issued for the lot size and the setbacks. The variance setbacks are consistent with the setbacks for the single-family 12,000 zoning districts. The lots range in size from 13,740 square feet to 19,259 square feet. Yet, the master plan designation is for low-density residential and the zoning map designation is for single-family 1 acre, which means we have 6 non-compliant lots. To create compliance, the Planning Commission has recommended that the master plan be redesignated to medium-density residential from low-density residential, and that the zoning map be amended from single-family 1 acre to single-family 12,000. The Planning Commission was able to make the 4 required findings for the master plan amendment in the affirmative and the 3 required findings for the zoning map amendment in the affirmative. The vote on for both items was 7-0. The Board of Supervisors is authorized to amend the master plan and to amend the zoning map. The Planning Commission makes a recommendation to the board, and the Planning Commission is recommending approval of both of these items. I would ask that the commission, or the board, in considering this, take 2 separate actions on these items, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Anybody have any questions for Hope? Stacy, go.
Hope, so this change, as in a lot of these changes that we're going to see, were initiated by the city because we recognize there is an issue. And in those instances, we don't charge the property, we are still charging the property, we are not, that's, okay. I wanted to confirm that we're not charging the property owners when we're initiating an action like this.
For the benefit of the record, the applicant is the Community Development Director, and there is no fee.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Brad.
On items like this, when they come before us, I generally look for compatibility with adjacent properties under both the master plan and the zoning, and in this case, it is compatible with both the zoning and the master plan, with the adjacent properties, and actually cleans up, you said, the variances. So these are exactly the kinds of items that I look to staff to bring forward to us to clean them up under the master plan. So thank you.
Further board discussion? Okay, we ready for a motion? Let's take a motion on 22A on the master plan update.
I move to approve an amendment to the master plan land use map as presented based on the ability to make the required findings as noted in the staff report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second on the motion discussion. Did I ask for public comment on this?
No.
Let's finish this. There's a motion and a second. While we're on discussion, is there anybody, for the record, any public comment on this issue? I don't see any. Okay, on the motion then, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, carried. Let's take up 22B. This is the zoning map change to go along with the master plan that we just did. Members of the public who want to weigh in on this one? Don't see anybody. Any discussion from the board? Motion's in order.
Bill number 105.
I move to introduce bill number 105.
There's a motion and a second on the motion. Discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Carried. Thank you. All right. Now let's take up 22 Charlie. Discussion and possible action regarding an amendment to the master plan use map to redesignate from conservation reserve to open space a 20-acre parcel located on the north side of Highway 50. I think we all know where this is.
Mayor, may I present D at the same time as C?
Oh, yeah, another one, okay. Well, without an objection, we'll take up item 22 Echo as well. C and D, 22C is the master plan. If that gets approved, the next step is to do zoning map change to coordinate with the master plan. So, makes sense. We'll take up both 22C and 22D. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a request for a master plan amendment from Conservation Reserve Private to Open Space and zoning map amendment from Conservation Reserve to Public Regional. The 20-acre site I have on the board, it's a triangle, is located on the north side of Highway 50 West. The city acquired this property in January 2019 for open space. The Conservation Reserve designation is primarily for open lands, agriculture, ranching, and single-family residential. The open space designation is publicly owned and accessible lands preserved by the city. In terms of zoning, the Conservation Reserve is to identify outlying lands that may be developed in the future when infrastructure is available. The public regional designation in the zoning is for publicly owned facilities and uses whose main purpose is to sustain regional needs. The Planning Commission did review both of these applications, and they were able to make the 4 master plan findings in the affirmative and the 3 zoning map amendment findings in the affirmative. And both votes were by a vote of 7-0, and the Planning Commission is recommending approval to the Board of Supervisors of both of these items. I would ask that the board take 2 separate actions on these items because it's 2 separate requests, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Supervisor Bunkowski.
Hope, did you receive any comments on this after you put the agenda together?
I did not.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comment from the board? Public comment on this issue? Record reflect none. Okay, let's take up item 22C. We'll entertain a motion to take on 22C. Somebody want to do that?
I move to approve an amendment to the master plan use map as presented based on the ability to make the required findings as noted in the staff report.
There's a motion and a second on the motion. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Carried. I don't see it came up on here. There it is. All right. Electronically, we'll get it done. Okay. Okay, you want to take up 22 Echo and 22 Foxtrot at the same time, too? Oh, excuse, what, 20, I'm sorry, 22E, right. On 22 Echo, D.
We need a bill.
D.
We need to vote on.
We need D, right, you're right. I'm getting my deltas and echoes screwed up here. Okay. On item 22D, this is a zoning map change to correspond with the master plan that we just did. Discussion? Or is there a motion on that one?
You want to do public comment first?
Thought I did one, both of them, but I'll do it again. Any public comment? Record reflect no, none.
Okay, I move to introduce bill number 106.
There's a motion and a second on Bill 106. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Carried. All right.
Oh, yes.
Unless there's a horse in there.
All right, you ready for the next one? Okay. You want to take those both up together, Hope?
Yes.
All right, without an objection, then we will entertain items Agenda items 22 Echo and 22 Foxtrot is one item, because the first one, as I've said on the past ones, the first is a potential master plan change. If there is a master plan change, the zoning has to be done to coordinate with the master plan, so these both link together. If one's approved, if the master plan's approved, we've got to do something with the zoning side. All right. Public comment on this issue? Anybody? Board comments? Hope? Anybody? We all square on this one? Motion's in order. Somebody want to do it?
I move to approve an amendment to the master plan use map as presented based on the ability to make the required findings as noted in the staff report.
There's a motion and a second on the motion. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Carried. All right, let's take up item 22 Foxtrot. This is the zoning map side of the one we just did. Public comment on this issue? Record reflect none. Further comments from the board? Motion's in order.
I move to introduce bill number 107.
There's a motion and a second. On the motion, discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carried. Thank you. All right. Let's now take up item 22 Golf. This is a discussion and possible action to introduce on first reading an ordinance regarding an amendment to the zoning map to change the zoning from limited industrial to general commercial on 9 properties located at 3205 Retail Drive. They're all on Retail Drive with the exception of 2185 Market Street, 3305 College Parkway, 3200 College Parkway, and a number of APNs. Okay, go.
This item was also included in the master plan update for land use mapping corrections. The master plan designation of these 9 properties is community regional commercial. The properties have developed consistent with the master plan designation, but currently the zoning is limited industrial. The proposed zoning is general commercial to create master plan consistency. Staff has confirmed it will not create any non-conforming uses. The Planning Commission reviewed the 3 required findings for a zoning map amendment and recommended approval by a vote of 7-0. And I'm happy to answer questions.
Okay, questions of Hope? Anybody?
I do have one.
Go.
Hope, what is located on the parcel to the north of College Parkway? The triangular piece?
That is a vacant piece of land. Having said that, it was on the market when this went to Planning Commission. The realtor, the buyers, and the seller's agent, I should say, the seller's realtor, and the buyers all contacted me, discussed the existing zoning, and actually the current owners contacted me as well to make sure that the proposed future use would be allowed, and it will be.
Okay.
They want to leave it as LI.
No, they're fine with it as GC, and
Okay.
it doesn't create any problems for them.
And any other comments from any adjacent property owners after the staff report was put together?
Not since the staff report to the board. If I can just take a minute to say, with the exception of the Highway 50 property, every single item that's come before you today had substantial public comment, either before the Planning Commission meeting or at the Planning Commission meeting. And so the folks who made their inquiries were either satisfied with this conversation with staff or what they heard at the Planning Commission. So this hasn't gone through without public engagement.
Go. Any other questions of Hope? Public comment? Record reflect none. Okay, we ready for a motion?
I move to introduce bill number 108.
There's a motion and a second on the motion. Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carried. Did that in a hurry.
Yeah, that's why
We should have just,
Finish this morning.
Well, we could have, and Adriana and I talked a little bit about it. I mean, Janet puts these together and, you know, she gets kind of an idea of time, and I don't know all her stuff, how she does it. But we try and not overload everybody in the morning. And obviously, when we have to have a set time, we do it in the afternoon, but if there's a better way to bake the cookie, we'll try it. Okay? Anything else to come before we adjourn until 6 p.m. tonight? Recess. Recess, excuse me. Recess, thanks, John. Okay, I don't have it here any, so without objection, we will be stand in recess until 6 PM tonight in this room.